Hello Steelers, and welcome to this bench report hobby update for this week. I did say these were going to probably come out like fortnightly or even monthly and stuff, and they seem to be weekly since I started doing them. But yeah, just give you a bit of an update as what I've been doing this week. I didn't really get a great chance to do a lot of stuff because I've been busy doing other things. Well, first of all, over on Monday I was on the Plastic Crack podcast. If you missed that, I'll put a link to it in the description below, or there'll probably be one appearing on the screen as well at this point. Go and check it out, it was good fun. It was a good 2 hours chat about hobby stuff, and nice to meet up with the guys as well, really. I was very honoured to be on there. But whilst I was actually doing the Plastic Crack podcast, I was making jungle terrain. So I was just finishing off some of the bits and pieces that I've got from before, basically just revamping them with the oregano and the parsley stuff that I was using before. I've got a video of that coming out at some point, but I just had some low-lying bushes that I wanted to revamp, and I did those. And then I also started work as well on these ones here. I did these on a live stream on Tuesday. You can catch that in the live playlist. And I've basically got so far with these that these are painted, they are dry brushed and all that. Tiny likes them because she thinks they're biscuits. And all I've got to do next is put the actual herbs and spices on them. And then I'm trying to work out really, because I'm waiting for some palm trees as well. I'm just trying to work out the best way to do that. Sorry, Tony. Is to how I do it, because it's quite a messy process. So I could use the hobby table over there, cover them. I'm going up to Scotland this afternoon for work for tomorrow. So I could just do these quickly today and then just leave them to dry overnight, and they'll be done by the time I get back, and I can ink wash them and paint them and do all the things that need doing to them. So I'm just going to have a little think about that today. That might be something I do today though, and get it done. As I say, it's quite a messy process. But anyway, I also was working on more aeroplanes, First World War aeroplanes from Jim's Magic Box. So I did a couple of RFC BE-2Cs, which are the observation aircraft that literally outstayed their welcome in the First World War. I really like them though, they're nice little aeroplanes. Very stable platform, but they were called Fokker fodder for a reason. I also did some Albatros C3s as well, some Albatros observation aircraft. I worked on some Rumpler C1s and also some Halberstadt D2s as well, so I managed to get quite a few of those done. I've still got quite a lot left. I'm probably about halfway through, I think, at this point, but I'm slowly getting there. What I need to do actually is create the record sheets for them as well, so when I do that I'll upload those into the Google Drive for the algae material. So if you want to get your hands on them, they'll all be in there at some point in the future. So I want to get those done and printed and everything. Also, Paul, I mentioned it last time, Paul had sent me the garden for test piece. Well, he'd given it to me at Hammerhead, the garden test piece for the buildings that he's printed for me, and I basically put that together with one of the next building I was painting, which you should be able to see on screen at this point. This was what I've done as well, I realised that the gardens, because they're raised slightly, because they don't have they have a base, I had to raise the building as well, so I put it on a little 3mm plastic card piece, and I've also added some embossed plastic card to the front as well, just to give it a little bit of a pavement at the front as well. So it's just having a little bit more to it than having nothing around it, and that's what I'm going to do with those going forward, because I like the look of it anyway. It gives it a little bit of a base and just something to work with. So that's something that's on the horizon. I also did a Flags of War review as well for their forthcoming Kickstarter figures, which are the Border Wars, and the War of the Austrian Succession. I'll not talk too much about those, just a picture of them here, but They were the first 28, because I did a review, so you can go and watch that anyway. Again, link in the description or probably appearing up here. They're the first 28mm I've painted for quite a while actually, and I enjoyed it. Apart from the Star Wars and the Judge Dredd figures, quite enjoyed it. Very different approaches. Obviously, a lot slower than painting 15mm, which is my usual. But you know, it was a nice break from the tiny little figures. I've worked on a Dystopian War review as well. I'm not going to talk too much about that because the review will be coming out either maybe next week or the week after, so just keep an eye out for that. But I built one of the models as well, which you can see here. So I did that. Quite nice models. Not really my thing, if I'm 100% honest, but you know, somebody might like them, so that's why I've done a review of them. So check that out coming out as it comes along. In other news as well, this weekend I was working on a new Chain of Command video. It's not a battle report. I was kind of inspired by Travis over at Tabletop CP. He'd done a video on how to organise your forces and force supports and things for Chain of Command, because a lot of people get quite confused by it. And it was a nice little introduction to the whole thing. And I thought I could do something similar. I don't want to do the same thing. I might do one on force supports at some point in the future. But I decided to do a little video on the command dice. And how the command dice work, and how the leaders influence a battle. Because the more you play Chain of Command, the more you get into how the actual mechanics of the game work, and the subtleties of it and nuances start to come through. And it is a game that rewards a lot of replaying. And I noticed this the other week at the club when I was playing against Gary, when I was playing the Japanese versus his Indians. There was a couple of times where I could see that he wasn't using his command dice to their full effect. You know, I'm not such a wanting to win player that I didn't point it out to him. I did point it out to him and I said, like, you know, you could do this, this and this instead of what you're going to do. So I thought I'd make a little video about this with just some examples of how to use the command dice to their fullest effect at various times in the game. And that's really, you know, what I put together. So I actually surprised myself, because what I do a lot of time is I'll write scripts for videos, and then they'll just sit in my scripts file, and I don't touch them again because I kind of run out of steam with them. But this one, I just sat down, I wrote it, I did a voiceover on Friday night, I then recorded some of the scenes for it on Friday night, reshot a couple of them on Saturday morning, and then edited the whole thing together over Saturday. So I just sat down and did it, and I thought, you know, I've got to push myself and do these things rather than just taking the easy route with videos. I want to kind of with stuff like that, you know, you have to be pretty much spot on. Anyway, so that's why I kind of scripted it out. So that is something that is coming at some point. The other thing as well is we had a game, speaking of Chain of Command, had a game of Chain of Command down at the club. I played it again with Gary and with Tim from the Napoleonic Wargaming channel. Go and check him out if you are not subscribed. He's great, and he will be having, he's going to make it into an actual battle report at some point, so looking forward to that. He said it might be Monday-ish or something like that. I don't know where Tiny's going. And that was good because Tim had never played it before, and as I say, Gary was relatively new to Chain of Command. He'd only played a few games of it, so I umpired for both of them and basically just, you know, took them step by step how to play the game and just what's the best thing they can do with what they've got available and things. And it was a really good topsy-turvy game. It started off, the British definitely had the Germans on the back foot, and then by the end of it the Germans turned it around and they absolutely battered the British. So it's just shows you, you know, what kind of game it can be. Really, it goes from one extreme to the other. And then really just finally, the only other thing that I've got through in the post really this week was this, The Darkest Year, edited by Spencer Jones, who was one of my old tutors when I did the British First World War course at Birmingham back in 2013. This is the British Army on the Western Front, a series of essays by various known academics and forthcoming, upcoming academics, so the PhD students and stuff. And it's part of a series on the British Army that Spencer has been editing, obviously starting in 14, 15, 16, this is 17, and then the final one is going to be 1918 at some point in the future. So I'm looking forward to diving into that. That'll be a good thing, and because they're only 20-page long essays, it's not like you've got to read the entire book. You can just pick bits and pieces of it out. I might do a review of it if it's required. Let me know in the comments, as always. I can at least take a little closer look at it, and even some of the other ones as well. But yes, that's about it really. That's the only other thing I've got on the desk at the moment is a few more First World War aircraft. I've got Albatross C5s and some, I think, Roland D2s. These they're all labelled up here, and that's it. As I say, I'm heading off to Scotland in a few hours anyway, so I'm not going to be able to do anything until I get back tomorrow at some point. Hopefully I'll be back in time for the Plastic Crack podcast. But if I'm not, I'm not, and I shall see you in the next video. If you do want to support the channel, please check out Patreon, check out the Ko-fi as well. You can also be a channel member as well. All of it does help to keep on the lights here at Storm of Steel, and it's very much appreciated as well. Also at the moment, just one last thing as well, just for the Ukrainian crisis, I'm selling Storm of Steel t-shirts over on Redbubble. I'll put them, there's a link in the description. For any of them I'll match the profit that I make off them, and I'll give it to the Ukrainian Red Cross, International Red Cross Fund. So please, buy a t-shirt, and we can help some people out. Alright, I shall wrap up there and say again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next bench report and hobby update.